When are you going to start?
What's on YouTube? Can I start now, George? Right? Can I?
I hope
Is
y'all
it all right
enjoy
with
this
you
show.
if I fucking start talking now?
How far would you have got?
I don't know. I don't know how far I would have got. Shall we try this again? Yeah. Shall we try this again? Take two. Take two. What's on YouTube is PTC. You're a bastard.
I think that's a great intro. You should leave it.
That is a good intro.
What's on YouTube is PTT coming at you with another Division video. Yes, I probably will leave the beginning part in and you can see that Binary's a dick. No, guys, welcome to another Division video. I am joined tonight by Orange Euro Sage, Game with Weezer, and of course Binary Num. Guys, in turn, one at a time, say hello.
Hello. Greetings, agents. Glad to be here, Pete. Thanks for having me on.
This is Weezer.
Weezer?
I demand respect. I'm famous. No.
You are famous, man. You got a shout out in the state of the game. You were ordered to post links.
Yeah,
man.
that's all I am. I'm like Hamish's little slave boy in the chat. That's me. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. I'll take it.
That's a
Whatever.
polite way for saying
I'll take
bitch. Yeah. George, welcome back from the land of El Español.
Oh, Viva
How was
España. Yeah, good. It was great. I'm back in nice, the windy Isles. So yeah, good.
Good man. Well, the aim of today is to talk our impressions of Survival. Now, obviously, you guys know we are all console players, so none of us have actually played the PTS and played Survival. Sage has played about an hour or two's worth of the PTS in 1.5, but, you know, he's tight and he hasn't bought a season pass on the PC, so he can't play Survival. So yeah, before we go any further, massive shout out to George. I will leave a link to his YouTube and Twitch in the description below for hooking me up with some gameplay. You know, it gives you guys just a little bit of a hint of what Survival's like in case you haven't watched too many streams. Myself personally, I've watched probably 30 or 40 hours worth of Rex, Marco, Hamish and that ruining Survival and other things, and to me it looks pretty amazing, but I will talk about my opinions in a little bit. Weezer, why don't you hit us up with your opinions of Survival?
Right off the bat, I would think probably one of the biggest things that my impression is, I believe Like Butter in one of his videos actually said it, Survival is a lot of what I thought that the Division was going to be before it came out. That kind of surviving, having to use your resources and things like that to survive. And obviously it wasn't when it came out, but I still loved the game and through the progression all the way up to now to 1.4. But with 1.5 coming out and the Survival DLC, I'm finally, you know, itching that scratch that I had at the very beginning to do what I thought the game was going to be. And so far, from what I've watched, a lot of the streamers that you've mentioned, I think it's really going to be fun. Kind of concerned with the size of the map and the number of players that are going to be in it. 24 seems kind of low to me, but you know, that's just a hard cap right now. We might see that change in the future. But yeah, I think it's going to be a fun game mode to play. What do you think, Sage?
I've only gotten to play it for about an hour and a half, and it's just 1.5. But what I've seen of the streams, I'm right there with you, Weezer, as far as it is a lot like what I expected initially from the Division. To see this come out in this game mode makes me really excited to get in and actually get to play it. The guys are having a ton of fun. I want it for myself. Why can't I have it now? But yeah, it looks really good, and I wish I could, you know, draw from some experience personally. But yeah, it looks great.
George, what about yourself, buddy? George has gone dead.
Muted.
There's no opinion.
Muted.
Talking with your controller muted.
Yeah,
As you can
dude.
tell, guys, very professional crew I've got with me tonight.
Do you know what? Yeah, I can't say I've watched 40 hours. I have a life. But sorry.
You've got a life, we've got jobs. We've got jobs, right? We need to fill those jobs with things to do because, like, heaven forbid I actually want to work while I'm at work when I can watch people play video games.
It's the same as me. I've watched a lot of streams now. From Eric's to Marco Style to even Hamish. It's very cool. I like it a lot. Sort of How to Die in 7 Days esque, I guess. It does feel. I don't know. It still feels a little contrived to me, but I can't wait to play it. I'm a mixed bag. I'm honest.
I think Weezer hit my point exactly. Maybe I should have gone first. Then it may sound like you're copying me, Weezer, rather than me copying you. Yeah, I thought
Plagiarism is never
I think
dead.
it's what the game was going to be from the beginning. You know, I honestly thought that that was how the game was going to be. And for me, when I played from 0 to 30, I did a lot of scavenging. I did a lot of exploring of inside buildings and find a lot of gear and weapons from that. Because that's how I believed we were to play the game. That's how it was kind of marketed, and that's what I thought it was going to be. And when I kind of hit level 30 and it came from everywhere else, I was kind of a little bit disappointed. So to see survival coming in the way it is going to be looks amazing. Okay, that whole survival aspect of it is very much what I want in this game. It's like you said, Weezer, like Butt said, and other people, it is what we all, or a lot of us, thought the game was going to be from day one.
Is it?
Let's talk about something else then. We've got our general impressions. Sorry, go on. Did you want to add to that, mate?
No. Yeah, is it a continuation to the story?
No.
No. Well, yes. Actually, it kind of is.
Yeah.
But we don't know why, because the beginning cutscene. For those of you who haven't seen it, it's actually at the beginning of this video. So the beginning cutscene, I will try and pull it in now so you can see it. Your agent basically dumps all of his gear into a locker. He puts on a hazmat suit, he loads his pistol up onto his leg, he jumps on a helicopter, and as we've seen through Division so far, whenever an agent gets on a helicopter, it gets blown out the sky. Down he goes, our agent gets injured, and he's, you know, in survival with no gear, he's freezing cold, he's injured, he's in pain, he's got a disease, he's got a pistol, no gear. You know, it's really back to basics, start again, you've got to survive, hence why it's called survival. So it kind of feels like there is a bit of a story there that maybe, who knows, because we're still very limited on what we know about 1.5. Yeah, we know about survival, we've seen the gameplay, we've seen the streams, but we're very limited on knowledge as to what has changed with 1.5. So who knows where the storyline's going. Obviously there has to be some kind of storyline because they got cutscenes. You know, our agent is going into the dark zone for a reason. We know he's going in to get some antivirus thing. So there is some kind of storyline there. Whether it's told a lot in detail or not, I don't know. I mean, Weezer, George, Sage, what do you think?
It's somewhat.
Should there be a lot of a backstory?
I think it's as far as the storyline within survival. I think it's supposed to be somewhat standalone as compared to a smaller part of the larger story as far as your agent is concerned. I mean, you are getting the rewards from survival that you can use on your agent, but as far as the storyline within survival, from what I know, it's mostly just a standalone story just for the DLC of survival. Not that I know of, does it really tie into the storyline that we've experienced from the 1 to 30, but you know, I've been known to be wrong before. But from what I can gather from being in,
I would tie it in.
Okay, yeah, let's hear this. This will be good.
We got a cutscene at the beginning. Okay, our agent's going off on this mission on a helicopter to catch some crap from the dark zone and bring it back. It gets blown up, he gets injured, but at the end of it, we extract and we see a nice little video of them extracting. I think the way they could tie that in, so we kind of seamlessly swap back to our character, is to actually have us taken back to the base of operations by helicopter. You know, the helicopter lands outside the front and the medical wing staff come out and take you in on a stretcher to administer, you know, the antibodies from what we've taken from the dark zone. They administer it to us, you know, and they say, oh, don't worry, we've also got your bag here, and they put your bag next to your agent on the stretcher, and that's what's got your loot in it, and then boom, you're back to your normal character. You've survived, you've gone in, you've survived, you've extracted, you're back in the base, job done. There's not as much of a storyline to it, but it might just make it feel like it's not necessarily a standalone part of the game, you know, like it'll actually tie in, because you got your cutscene at the beginning of your agent going out, and you got your cutscene of your agent coming back in, and it tying in somewhat to, you know,
kind of feels like what they did with Underground.
Injured. He needs help. Yeah, he needs help. You know, we know he needs help. We know he's injured. We've seen that from the storyline. That's the storyline of survival. You use your painkillers, your meds, because you're injured, you're diseased. The only way to get help is to get extracted and get back to the base of operations. Give us a cutscene. Show us that. Show us getting the help that we need. to survive. That's my opinion.
I
That's what I think. I think that
I,
would
I
go.
really like I really like survival. I think it's great. I'm gonna be the arsehole of the group because, but for me,
Hey,
You normally are.
survival is it's like playing zombies when you buy COD. For me, it's it's if there's no real continuation to the story and there's no, there's no new levels or anything like that. It's just the same map but with some enhanced weather and then a little bit of few mechanics added extra. To me, that doesn't seem like a warranted paid DLC. That should be something that, that's like a bonus feature to the main game. Like when you buy COD, you play zombies, or even like Red Dead when you kill a load of zombies on the side, right? Survival and like, how long can you last? I don't know enough to,
Okay, let me hit. I understand your point. While you're still talking, let me hit you up because you can respond to it. Then, Call of Duty. I'm a big fan. Well, not the new one. It's shit, but I've played Call of Duty from its release all them years ago. Zombies has been in the games. They're always with paid DLCs. You always get new maps, new modes. Zombies always comes as a paid DLC. You only get one, basic zombie map when the game first comes out. It's a very basic thing. You get that through the paid DLCs as the year goes on.
right?
This is a paid DLC. Survival's a paid DLC.
Yeah. For me though, what's the reason to go into survival, right? It's if I need to feel like that every time I go into Brave survival, I'm getting something that either progresses my lore for the story or my gear, and the gear reward had better be.
Oh, it does. It does.
Yeah,
boost your gear,
yeah. But
because you're getting 256 stuff out of it.
but is that the only place to get 256 gear, or am I
No.
going to be able to
No.
get it elsewhere a lot easier?
You're going to be able to get it elsewhere.
Okay. So what's the grip for me to play survival?
It's fun. It's different.
Is it different?
It's got some cool new mechanics on. It's got some cool new mechanics.
Sorry,
Well, it
I'm
is
playing
different.
devil's advocate.
Tell
and I'm
me,
sorry.
yeah, no,
I'm
that's cool.
sorry,
I
I'm
love
playing
it when you
devil's
play
advocate.
devil's advocate. We all need an arsehole every now and again. Thankfully, we've always got an arsehole in you. It's brilliant. No, George, this is why we love having you here, because you always see the side of things that we don't. You always see things from a different light.
Don't get me wrong, I'm a lover of
though
Division.
every single
right?
time we record one of these episodes, you always say afterwards that you also agree with what we said.
Oh, no, I do.
That you had
Yeah.
to point out some things. Just it is different. Tell me how it's not different. We're surviving. They're taking away all our gear. We're pistols only. We've got to go on the loot. It's not like you can go and do some hard missions and buy some caches. You're deprived of everything
Yeah,
in
okay.
survival. You have your pistol. You have to find chests. You have to loot your gear, and you're time limited. It's not like you can just jump in and you're time gated to 2 hours maximum.
Let me tell you this.
Force that 2 hour mark.
Let me throw this in there just so you think about this. Like they have said, and like I've told you guys in the past, 1.4 was somewhat a foundation for them to build upon because the game was in a bad place. And 1.4 was that foundation to where they can build content on to that.
Yeah.
Think of that also as survival. Survival is a really fun game mode, kind of stripped down bare, but it is a foundation for them to build upon that as well.
Is it going to be
So
competitive?
I mean,
And let's also include as well, it is a PvP.
Yeah,
It is
yeah.
a PvP game mode as
so
well.
it's PvP, but
has the ability
is
to
it
be
offering
PvP.
ranking? Is it offering any competitive
Is it offering
environment? So is PvP offering any competitive advantage? So is there rankings or is there?
is survival?
Well, we don't know. We don't know.
Are you
It's
saying
still
is
in
survival
PTS, isn't
offering
it?
you that?
Yeah, like it's offering PvP, so you can go and shoot
Not currently.
people rather than going NPCs.
I'm looking over the patch notes right now. I'm not seeing
You know,
anything about that.
What?
Yeah, not that I know there's nothing currently, but leaderboards would be a good idea. You're right. I know Butter and a couple of other people have talked about it. I've seen it on Twitter, and even in the state of the game, Hamish called out that even he would like to see leaderboards in the future.
Yeah, those are definitely
time
things that have been-
survived, quickest extraction, the amount of agents you can kill, and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I mean, the thing is, George, you play every game. Everyone plays every game differently, and
Yeah.
with survival, it gives you so many multiples. You can go into survival. You can try to survive as long as possible and really drag drag out the 2 hours. You could go into survival, spend 30 minutes with your team gearing up, and then be the arseholes that just go round to try and ruin everybody else's
So from
game
what
in
so from
survival
what
and
we've
kill
so,
them
so-
all, you
from
know?
what we've seen so far, is a DPS build the only viable way to survive survival?
No. Oh, hell no. Not at all. Not at all. Or at least I don't think so. Sage, Weezer?
I saw quite a bit happening from a support standpoint, especially from a group aspect. But there were a couple streams where they were running first aid first, and it was more about staying out of sight of other agents. You know, they were playing a very concealed type of gameplay style, and it worked out very well for them. You know, I think you'll see more diversity in play styles in a situation like that, especially everybody starting on the same playing field with the same equipment, the same buffs, the same debuffs. It'll allow them to express themselves better and differently than other players, because I think there's going to be a lot of players going in thinking that they're just going to DPS their way through it, and if you don't focus on your healing abilities, or you don't focus on some of the support that you need right off, it's going to get you in trouble later on down the road for those players who started off with that initially. So I think you're going to see a lot more dynamic happening between players in this mode. But that's just what I think. I haven't had a chance to play it myself yet. But I think it's viable.
I think you're right, and I think especially because you have to craft your skills. You know, you've got to craft your skills, so you've got to be really picky. You've got to kind of pick with your team. One person having self-heal, one person having pulse, one person maybe a support station or a turret. You know, you're very, because of the whole survivability thing and the way you craft them, you only get these things dropped very rarely. You kind of got to be really picky and choosy to what you do.
I totally get what Binary's saying, and I've watched quite a bit of survival just from watching the guys Hamish and those guys stream survival, and other people stream as well. And it is a PTS, so obviously it is a work in progress, and I know there are a lot of people that play it that way, that go in and try to get that LMG gun or a G36 or whatever, and get it fairly quickly to be able to output that kind of DPS, because a lot of streams that I've watched, it does occasionally seem like finding gear that's more weighted towards toughness, or doing those types of things to get armor mitigation or toughness up or your skills up. People seem to go for the DPS first, the weapons first, and so I totally get what Binary is saying, but like I said, it's a PTS, so the guys at Massive are watching that, and if they see that, who knows what changes they might make. They might kind of back off on the crafting materials that, how easily it is to find crafting materials for weapons, or, make it somewhat easier to find gear or crafting materials that's weighted towards toughness or skill power, something like that. So they'll find that equal balance to where you don't see so many people running in, because I somewhat agree. A lot of the people that I've seen will go in and quickly, just grab up as many weapons as they can, find the one that they like, deconstruct the rest of them, and start trying to get at least that one solid weapon where they can take somebody down and just loot their body. But it's a PTS, and they'll find that balance. I'm kind of like Sage. I would go in there more looking for a build that is weighted a little bit more in skill and survivability and healing and support and that kind of stuff. But I think they'll find that balance pretty quickly before survival comes out. They're definitely watching it, and I think now that the PTS that they have shut down survival temporarily, so people can focus on 1.5. I think it'll go hand in hand with 1.5 as well. I'm sure there's some balancing and tweaking that they want to do within 1.5 as far as everybody is concerned as well. So, every week they're making changes. They're adding things, they're taking things away. So we all really like 1.4. It has its little hiccups here and there, but I think they'll get it close. And if need be, then they'll go from there and give us an update after 1.5 or every Tuesday after survival, whatever, and we'll get to that spot where it kind of evens out for everyone. Whatever type of player you want to build upon, you should. I think you should be able to build upon whatever type of player you want to be and be competitive. I don't, I don't want it to be like the Dark Zone where people with high DPS are just running around knocking players that are trying to do a support or a skill or a toughness build, and they don't really have a chance. That's not a healthy survival.
Good. Well, I'm glad we got a lot of this out in the open. You know, as per normal, it's been a good chat. But I don't want to drag it on too long, so I'm going to round it up. So, starting with you, Sage, then Weezer, then Binary. Quick couple of sentences, survival for you, your overall thoughts. Wrap it up nice and quickly, starting with you, Sage.
I initially shared some of the same fears that Binary just played devil's advocate on. After watching some of the streams, I'm convinced it's going to be a worthwhile game mode. I will stress the game mode piece of it, that they can build more layers onto. So I'm excited to see what it's going to look like when it finally drops. Although I do share some of the fears. I have a great feeling that we're not going to be disappointed, and it's going to be a game mode that I use quite a bit just for a nice change of pace. And I like having a different option outside of, it's either open world PvP in the Dark Zone or underground. You know, now we've got survival, and that's something that I can spend another 10 days worth of playtime on and really enjoy it. So until the next big update comes out, I think it's exactly what we need when we need it. Weezer?
Ideal. Weezer.
Yeah, I'm super excited for it as well. I was kind of disappointed and really bummed out that I had to wait for it a month after everyone else got it, and it took me a few hours to realize I have an Xbox. I don't have to wait for it. I'm going to get it day of release, so I'm super excited about that, even though I'm leaving my PS4 family behind, at least for a month. But yeah, they'll be talking about it more in upcoming streams and State of the Games. If you're not already, make sure you're following the Division game on Twitch. Make sure you're following there and on Twitter. We could see another one of those, surprise transmissions from the Division game. So make sure you have those notifications turned on. And yeah, I'm super excited for Survival.
Ideal. Binary.
Can I ask one more?
No
can I ask one more question?
Your overall opinion.
Can I just ask one more
If
question?
it's quick, because we're like 22 minutes. Go on.
So very quickly, do you think Survival should have been in the PTS, or do you think by having the PTS and not a closed PTS is diluting IP and effectively diluting
We
interest?
spoke about. Me and Sage spoke about this the other night. Personally, I feel that the PTS should be under NDAs. I don't think it should be open to stream. I don't think it should be open to videos. I think that because the PTS is limited to one console family only, being PC, my personal opinion is that the PTS should be under NDAs and we shouldn't have anything out. Massive should be able to watch it and see what's going on. Yes, I am sure there are other ways in which they could do that than just watching people's live streams. But I strongly personally feel that it should be under NDAs so that one, content isn't watered down for people when it comes out and we're actually surprised, because as much as I love talking about it, I would like to be surprised when it comes out and find out what's new. But the other side of it, being a console player, I feel extremely let down. One, that I can't play and take part in it.
Yeah.
But also the fact I'm limited on being able to make content on it.
Yeah.
Okay, as everyone knows, from the point of view as a content creator, when you make videos, it's pretty much first come, first serve, unless you're a big YouTuber.
Yeah.
Okay, if you're a massive YouTuber with hundreds of thousands of people, even if you get a gear set 3 or 4 weeks after release and make a video on it, you're going to get views. As a small YouTuber, when you're trying to make videos, it is about getting things done as quickly as possible. Why people are actually searching for it before they got the answers they want, and being able to get content out early. And that just isn't going to happen when, let's be honest, I'm already seeing weapon reviews jumping up on new weapons, gear set reviews and things like that. Who's going to be looking for them when Survival comes out, because the videos are already there? And with the way YouTube works and its search engine and things like that, those with the stupid amount of views come release day are going to get the ones that are going to get viewed even more, not the new ones. So yeah, I think it should be under NDAs. Sage, I know we spoke about it the other day and you agree, but add your piece in.
No, I completely agree with that, and for all of the same reasons. I don't know how I could word it any differently. You're looking at it simply from the standpoint, I like to be surprised. If I'm going to participate in an open beta or an open alpha, and they're going to allow streaming and everything, then that's one thing. But if this is new game content that's outside of 1.4, an NDA would have been ideal to protect the newness, the new feeling of all that coming out. Because now it's, I'm not saying that it's old hat, but now I know a lot about having even not playing it. I know a lot about survival. I know kind of what to expect, and that takes the bit of the magic out of it. For
Fun
me.
away from
Yeah,
it.
it takes
Yeah,
it just
it
a
takes
little
the
bit
fun
out.
away from a new DLC because we're not surprised. We've seen it. We've seen it. We've seen entire playthroughs. You know, we get the gist of how to do it. You don't get that new feeling of, oh, we're dead. What did we do wrong?
Right.
Let's try and learn from it to move on because we know what we did wrong because we've seen people complete it a million times. Weezer, I know you're probably very limited in what you can say in this. You don't want to upset anybody, but what's your opinion?
The only thing that I would say really quickly is, as far as this matter is concerned, I agree with you guys. If you want to put it out there, that's fine. Put it under NDA and, make sure no one's streaming it. No one's putting out the content for it. So those that are testing it can do that. So Massive can get the information that they need. If the guys at Massive want to stream it and keep it fairly limited so we can kind of get that sneak peek of what it is, I'm okay with that. But being able to get on and see hundreds of hours of gameplay and for us to know exactly what to expect when we jump in, pretty much know exactly what we need to do and see the routes and know the information that we need to do right off the bat, I agree, kind of takes the excitement out of it a little bit. So yeah, I think that's how I would approach it in the future is let those people test it. We don't see what it is. If they want to put out some little teasers here and there to just kind of, keep that excitement going, then I think that's the way it should be going forward.
Exactly. I also don't. I wasn't a big fan personally of the random let's drop a reveal stream in the middle of the day where everybody's at work. I wasn't a fan of that. I was actually super upset about it because I know a lot of people were in the same position where they missed out on it because they were at work. Do a dedicated reveal stream if that's what you want to do.
So you don't like that?
I'm not saying what Massive did was wrong. Yeah, I'm not saying what they did was wrong. It's their game; they can do what they want. But personally, especially being so heavily invested in the game and enjoying it so much and wanting to play, I want to watch these things. I had to then stay off social media all day, Twitter, Facebook, everything, because everyone was talking about it, and I wanted to be surprised. So I wanted to watch the reveal stream, and I had to wait 8 hours before I got home from work. Do a dedicated stream time.
All right, Pete. What time do you want me to tell them you want us to do it?
With well, no. Do you know what I mean? It's not going to coincide with everybody. I miss every state of the game because I'm at work.
Yeah.
Okay. That's fine. If the dedicated reveal stream was early in the morning and I missed it, I could live with that. But to randomly just pop up streams and throw it out there like that, I just think is a bit inconsiderate to their community that want to know what's going on and can't. It's not like there was even a warning. Maybe like a 24-hour warning. 24 hours notice, guys. We're going live tomorrow. Make sure you tune in. Don't tell us what. Just special surprise, special report. Come and tune in. Just something rather than just we're live. Hello, guys. This is Survival. Here you go. There's only 10 people to start off with in the stream, and now there's 1,000 and 2,000 and whatever number it was by the time they finished. I don't know. That's just my opinion.
But did you watch? Do you watch the state of the games
why they did
normally?
it.
Do you normally watch the state of the game?
When I get home from work, 12 hours after they've happened, yes.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying, though. That's when they put it in the last one before the special report. That's kind of indirectly letting you know, and Hamish was telling people to make
it
sure.
It wasn't. It was follow us on Twitch, turn your notifications on, and that was it.
Yeah.
There wasn't a Tuesday at 10 o'clock. We have a reveal stream for the next DLC, which everyone would have tried to tune in for. It was we are just going live, and this is what it is. That it's just my personal opinion.
That's why it's special.
Everyone's going to have their own opinion on it. I think they should have been timed and dated. But yeah, guys, we're rambling. Okay, Survival. It looks amazing. We are all excited for it in very different ways. George has played devil advocate like he normally does, but I respect it, man. I love you coming on and having the different point of views. It gives us, rather than everyone just agreeing through the whole chat, like yeah, man, what they said. It is nice to have the different perspective. Guys, let us know in the comment section down below what you think about Survival. What do you think about the replayability? Is it something you're going to be able to play 10, 15, 20 hours? in? You know, are you still going to be playing it in 3 months' time when there's new content out? Will you go back to play it because you like the way it is? PvP players that are watching this, are you liking having that dedicated mode? Is it the dedicated PvP mode you thought you were going to get, or is it still a little bit shy and there's a few things that you would like to see extra? Let us know all of that down below. Binary, Weezer, Sage, thank you very much for coming and tuning in again. I have something I want to go and talk to you guys about next, and depending on how that goes, I might have a video for you guys later on in the week to let you know some really cool things that I have planned in mind. But yeah, guys, thank you very much. Say goodbye.
Yep. Bye.
Fuck off.
Have a good one, agents.
Don't you see what I mean, guys? So professional. Goodbye monetization. Yes, I'm still on that whole monetization on YouTube swearing bullshit. Never mind. Guys, thank you for tuning in. Subscribe, like, comment. Thank you very much for watching, agents. And until the next video, we will catch you all soon.